Of the three concepts that I usually talk to audiences at IXL events around the world, which is one, rewire your brain, which has everything to do with our thought process, everything to do with how we're programmed or how we're conditioned. The other is think beyond profits, which has everything to do with what role money plays in our life and what impact does money have on the quality of our life. And the third one being living here now, which is what I'd like to talk about today and skip the part that most people like to talk about or listen to, which is about money, think beyond profits. And I'd like to put a little more emphasis this evening on living here now, living in the moment, how that really plays a very important role in the quality of our lives, whether we choose to live a ordinary or a life beyond the ordinary. How living here now or understanding that concept really can transform the quality of our life. This concept of living here in the now, also a lot of people know that as being mindful or being more present, attentive. There's so many different ways of explaining that. Is not a new concept. If you look at religious scriptures anywhere in the world, you will find time and time again there has been mention of the importance of the present moment in these scriptures. If you look at the Hindu scriptures, something that I heard growing up as well from other people around me, where in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna puts emphasis on the quality or puts emphasis on living in the present moment by saying that whatever happened for something good. Whatever is happening for the good. And whatever will also happen for something good. I'm rephrasing it. Something similar is in biblical scriptures as well. I believe it says, don't worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Live in the moment. Live for the moment. Again, I might be rephrasing it, but I believe there are scriptures that around the world also have constantly emphasized on the quality of our present moment. In the last decade or so, Fortune 500 companies around the world have started also becoming very keen on understanding what living in the present moment means, or how they can benefit indirectly through their employees by making them more mindful. Companies are implementing strategies like conscious business practice, teaching individuals or employees to become more mindful, more present in what they do, and trying to get a better understanding of what living in the present moment or living with mindfulness really does to impact the quality of overall quality of an organization. Military has been doing it as well, as I understand, where people are being trained to become more mindful of their actions. And academic institutions have also started getting very keen and interested in understanding what impact does quality of our attention to the present moment has in whatever it is that we create, including the quality of the present moment itself. Even though this concept of living here now or being more mindful and being more present is not something that is new, it perhaps has been going on or has been there for thousands or more centuries. But I believe that our understanding of this concept is still rudimentary, where we still need to understand what real living here in the now means. The question that becomes is that, is our future of no importance to us? Is what happens to us in the past, does that not have any relation to what we live in this moment? Am I supposed to completely erase my past and not worry about my future and just live whatever I have in the present moment. And I'm sure a lot of us would disagree with that. I need to think about my future. I need to think about what my family does or what happens to my family. I need to think about what happens to me in my job, in my profession, in my business, whatever it is that I do. How am I going to grow it? How am I going to become better in the future in the relationships that I have? What is going to happen to my financial health, whether I'm going to have enough money or not? All these and so many more questions that are all focused on future. And we certainly have this memory of everything that we bring from our past into this present moment that is also something that we cannot eliminate. So where does one live? Where do you live in the present moment to completely enjoy what you have in your hand, but at the same time not surrender what you have learned from your past, and also what you will create from this present moment for your future? Maslow put it very well. He said the ability of the mind to be in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness. Here's a story for you to understand this concept. Jimmy, a guy from the countryside, decided to go to the city and find a job. Jimmy struggled for the first few months and could not find a job because he never graduated from school. After a few more months of struggle, Jimmy decided to go back to the countryside and take a job at a farm. The owner of the farm had multiple farmlands, so Jimmy got a job with that owner. The first month, Jimmy got the job to plow the field. So Jimmy got on the tractor and continued to plow the field for 4 weeks. After Jimmy was done plowing the field, the owner of the farm moved Jimmy to another field where he had to sow seeds and water the crops. So for the next few months, Jimmy continued to sow seeds and water the plants. After Jimmy was done with his second task, the owner decided to move him to another task. He told Jimmy that he will have to sort corn as good, not so good, and bad corn from the harvest that was taken from one of the farmlands. The third day, Jimmy walked up to the owner and said, "I quit." The owner looked surprised at him. He said, "You were doing great for so many months. What happened now?" Jimmy explained his position. He said, "When you gave me the task to plow the field, all I had to do was sit on the tractor and plow the field. I mostly thought about everything that's going to be coming in my future. All that time I was plowing, sitting on the tractor, I was thinking about what's going to be my next step. What is my girlfriend going to look like? How much money am I going to make? Where am I going to get a job? When you moved me to sowing and watering the crops, it was easy. All I had to do was just sow the seeds and water the crops. But mostly, I was just thinking about all the things that have happened to me in the past, all the mistakes that I have made, and all the regrets that I had. Things like, why did I not get a job in the city? Why did I not graduate from school?" Finally, Jimmy explained. He said, "But this job of finding the good corn, not so good corn, and bad corn is a decision after decision after decision for which I have to be here and now." That message actually tells us that even for most of us, things that are going to be coming in our future are absolutely important to us. Things like, what is it that's going to happen to our family? What is our health going to be like? Where am I going to live? Am I going to have enough money? Am I going to have enough for my children? And so on, and so many questions that all are projected towards the future. And then we all have these regrets, these failures, or other things that have happened in our life, in our relationship, in our profession, that we didn't really want but are a part of our experience and are now a part of our memory. So of these two extremes, where should one really be? Should I be just 0% thinking about my past and also whatever's going to be happening in my future or anything that comes in the future? Or should I be 100% thinking about what's going to happen to the future or what's going to happen to me in my future and what has happened to me in the past? And I constantly just think about that. The answer to that is what I found in one of the stories that I read. Legend has it that when Buddha was looking for his answers and constantly just meditating for a long time, he starved himself. He was skin and bones, and he couldn't even recognize his own face. One day when Buddha was actually walking by and he saw a player trying to fine-tune an instrument called sitar, which is a string instrument equivalent to a guitar. Buddha looked at the player as he was trying to fine-tune the string instrument, the sitar. He saw that when the player has the string too tight, the string snaps. And when the string is too loose, it's out of tune. He saw that the player was constantly trying to find that sweet spot, trying to find that place where the string produces a fine tune. That is exactly what we are supposed to do when we are living here now. We have to find that sweet spot. We have to fine tune ourselves to live right in the center of it, where anytime we need to refer to any of the past experiences that we have had in our history in the form of memory, where we have the capability, we have the capacity to go back and refer to the past experiences in the present moment. And we also have the full capacity of any time we have to make a decision, anytime we have to think about what we need to do for our future, we also have that capacity when we are right in that center. That center is what is living here now.